I am on the way to see you in person. I want to see the faces of the garbage who is distributing that junk on my base. I pray this is a false alarm and nothing else. Can you imagine what the press would do with this? Could you dare to think if the drugs were contaminated with radiation if this were true? Yes, sir, I'll be waiting for you and we'll conduct the initial briefing. Meet us at the Hidden Shack, a few miles north of Area NBC. Susan arrived right at the end of our conversation. What's up, she asked. I informed her of what I knew while her lips were changing from a smile to being parallel to the floor with disbelief. Could you do me a special favor? Sure. Get in your car with civilian clothes, drive around the site and do that recon you're famous for. Just remember, need to know only. You report to me and only me. Okie dokie, she said with a devious operative look, holding her mouth in pain. Are you okay? I asked. Yeah, I bit my tongue at the chow hall eating breakfast. The damn thing hurts, as she left to do the recon. 15 minutes later, 2 huge soldiers walked in holding this bulgy, blue-eyed and skinny soldier as he was under arrest. Are you Sergeant Nelson? One of them asked. Yes, I am. What can I do for you? We're detectives with Criminal Investigation Department CID. Colonel Chase asked us to bring this man here and wait for his arrival with Colonel D. Could you provide us with a lockup cell? Sure, go to the end of the hall and see Sergeant John. Tell him I sent you for the cell keys. Thanks. I noticed the soldier's name tag was Walken, very strange. His look identified him as an acid freak. He was physically there but his brain was in outer space. Houston, calling Houston, this is Earth Walken, calling Houston. This guy was out there. Colonel D being the base commander, or the top dog of the base, and Colonel Chase is the Army Division commander in charge and responsible of everything that the Army does on this air base, including security of the weapons storage facility in question. As authority is concerned, Colonel Chase answers to Colonel D. The conference room is starting to fill up. Presently we have with us Office of Special Investigations, OSI, Security Police Investigations, Yusufspi, Sergeant Stock our Security Police Flight Chief, Captain Smart our Security Police Flight Officer, Special Weapons and Tactics, SWAT, Army Criminal Investigations Department CID, all of us members of the Anti-Terrorist Special Operations. In addition, with us is the Judge Advocate General, JAG, for legal advice since we're in a foreign country and we hope this doesn't turn international, especially the press. Let's not forget the bulgy blue-eyed soldier locked in the cell. To him we have a job to do. We're waiting for Colonel D and Colonel Chase to arrive. There they are. Attention in the building, I yelled. Colonel D put everyone at ease when I noticed some captain walking besides Colonel Chase. Colonel D introduced me to Colonel Chase and Chase introduced me to Captain Spector, his personal assistant. We gathered into the conference room and closed the door. A JAG lawyer spoke with Colonel D, advised him he could not be directly involved with the operation if needed to give out any warrants if necessary. If there are any private locked areas, probable cause permits the Colonel to issue a warrant to us. Everyone sat and waited for Colonel D to speak. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Colonel Chase, our Army Division Commander. His team will assist us in this matter. We're here to conduct a classified operation, need to know only. Captain Smart from Special Operations will be the on-scene commander. Sergeant Nelson is the operative in charge and most experienced for these drug raids. However, we have no protocols or standard operating procedures SOP, for what we are about to do. Today, all of us are witnessing the birth of a new procedure and we'll work to the best of our knowledge, training, and expertise. I heard a saying a while back and the saying is opinions are like assholes, everybody's got one, so today we need your asshole to help in every way possible. Every one of you has been briefed somewhat and I'll brief you even more. First, the most important thing to do is take total control of the site. Since we don't have confirmed intel on the inside, we'll treat this as a terrorist act. The new information you don't have is the info given by the soldier in the holding cell. That soldier is the one who phoned us on duty officer at the barracks. CID was notified, and they traced the phone by our base phone system. After a rapid and prompt investigation, we identified the caller. Normally we don't do this, but for national security reasons, we had to. On interrogation, the soldier explained as to the reason he made the phone call, to save his ass. He owes the traffickers a lot of money. When he tried to buy some more on credit, they denied him the stuff and threatened him to pay in 24 hours or accidents occur. He says he was so scared he thought of getting them busted. While in jail they can't hurt me, he says. He also shared the method the traffickers used to sell and hide behind our own high security system. Sergeant Nelson, this show is yours, and I repeat to every member in this room, I want total control of my base, which means this site too. Then and only then we'll investigate the rest of the inside, he said very furiously as he slowly moved towards the wall with his face as red as a tomato. Listen very closely guys, we're up against trained military police armed with M16s, some with grenade launchers. There are at least 2 armed response teams ART, patrolling the perimeter. We don't know who a user is or has any knowledge of what's going on, but we must try to take over the site without killing anyone. As far as I'm concerned, they're all in on this. Did you hear me, SWAT guys? I heard about that finger spasm sharpshooters, so only under an order. As everyone paid their undivided attention, we continued the meeting and made careful plans, keeping in mind every possible danger, to them and us. The most important, as the base commander said, is to make sure we have total control of our nuclear weapons storage area. We don't have more intelligence on the inside, which makes this operation sensitive. Susan returned and gave us some final intel we could use. The best part was the pictures she took while a drug sale was in progress. These drug users had a good plan. The only thing that got them on radar was giving credit to someone who couldn't pay them back, then scaring him like a collections agency or a loan shark, even the mob. People do amazing things when they're terrorized. We placed the pictures in the order she took them. The evidence shows someone approaching the outer fence and waiting a few seconds. He was buzzed in and approached the security window, which is about 6 inches thick. This is where the second fence is located. In between the 2 fences are alarms. The distance from the outer fence to the inner fence is approximately 30 feet. Both fences are electrified to lighten anyone's day. If anyone tries to jump the second fence, deadly force begins unauthorized. You might get in but won't get out unless you're in a body bag and verified many times you're dead. The pictures showed one of the guards meeting with the suspect buyer to the right of the security window and passing a brown paper bag through the fence. The alleged buyer instantly puts a happy face, walked towards the first entry gate and was buzzed out. Susan told us that the whole transaction took 1 to 3 minutes. Time. I yelled, and someone replied 1600 hours. It has been 2 hours since we were first notified. Let's go. Chapter 4. 2 military vehicles were the only ones headed directly to the site. Colonel Chase and Captain Spector drove in the first vehicle. I drove in the second, a truck behind with Tiger lying on the floor hidden from window view. Everyone else had 5 minutes to be in their positions. SWAT positioned their members in high and low areas around the site. We're planning to take over a nuclear weapons storage site, just like taking food away from a lion, easy. This is us against us. If gunfire was necessary, we needed to replace the existing security with new military policemen. We needed to make sure we didn't convert this to a broken arrow or a nuclear accident. Armed response teams ART were behind waiting for my alert. Helicopters were on standby and only alerted if extremely necessary. Area NBC is a no-fly zone. Any unauthorized and unannounced aircraft will be shot down if over the area site. Colonel Chase and Captain Spector arrived at the site. They disembarked the vehicle and walked to the front gate, showing their security badges. Every military policeman inside noticed that it was Colonel Chase, their highest known commander in their chain of command on base. They also recognized Captain Spector while speaking to each other very nervously. They buzzed both through the first gate. I was on the road driving very slowly towards the site, giving Colonel Chase time to enter. Colonel Chase approached the security window and ordered everyone outside. They were still protected while inside the second gate. We needed to get in this one and no gunfire, yet. This is an unexpected inspection. Everyone at attention, let us in first, as his orders were being complied. They verified the proper password with Colonel Chase. Captain Spector entered the security shack while Colonel Chase had everyone at attention. I was arriving at the very moment Captain Spector took over the controls, letting me in with Tiger. Is everyone outside? I asked as the 4 frightened soldiers nodded up and down with their heads. I didn't trust them, so this is the K9 unit, come outside. I'm releasing the dog to secure this building. Captain Spector exited the building and I told Tiger, find him, girl. She entered anxious and happy she's getting to tear someone up. After a few seconds Tiger returned, so I entered with her to view the shack myself. This shack was large, a comfortable building with 4 bunk beds, large bathroom with 4 stalls and various sinks, pool table, ping pong table, lockers, and a lot more. It was very nice. I found no one and gave the alert area secured. We have the shack only currently. SWAT standby, IRT teams come on in as the tension was still present. IRT-1 arrived pointing their weapons to the fore. We had to be very careful since both gates are opened at the same time and electricity is turned off. Colonel Chase got on the radio and called the inner ART teams to report to the gate for inspection. At least when approaching the shack, they view and believe it's a big inspection. I proceeded to tell Tiger Seek which is the command for drug search. We normally start in a clockwise manner. This way we don't miss anything. Tiger immediately ran to the bathroom tearing up the paint from the toilet stalls. The door was closed, and nobody was inside. This was strange. Tiger's first priority is to bite first, drugs second, so I knew someone wasn't inside. Tiger could get in from the bottom but I was more interested in her safety, so I kicked the door in. She bit and took the toilet paper with the holder completely off while hundreds of white plastic bags flew up into the air, on us and all over the floor. This was a positive alert. The bags had a black and yellow sticker on them with a message written warning radiation under a skeleton picture. I need OSI or somebody with a field tester. OSI came in and Colonel D was behind them. An OSI agent tested the powder inside the plastic bags and it tested positive for cocaine, a narcotic being a controlled substance. It is confirmed, illegal drugs in a top-secret nuclear weapons storage facility. During the additional testing, I found more toilet paper rolls. Every single one was filled with more and more bags, hundreds more. Some of the rolls had pieces of hash rolled up in aluminum foil, too. We have found some operation that clearly was in top dollar movement, possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars. Great, I said. I got on the radio, everyone inform your status starting with Alpha, as all radioed in all secure. Colonel D, the area is secure. CID and OSI verified with the scientists and the security protocols. The nukes are secured. They were never compromised and there is no evidence of any other security violation. Seems like these traffickers were using our area NBC security at the entrance for their own security and selling cocaine. Pretty interesting, sir, as I reported to the colonel reporting the update. Then I noticed that Colonel D lost the tomato color from his face. This was a sign of relief. Captain Spector pulled his .45 caliber weapon, passing it to Colonel Chase while searching and disarming all 4 soldiers. OSI and CID began advising them of their rights since the test proved positive. Normally OSI takes over jurisdiction when a test is positive to a narcotic, however, this site even if on Colonel D's base belongs to Colonel Chase's command who reports to Colonel D. This is priority area NBC and you see everyone working as a family together with no complaints. I was starting to feel pretty good, however something was bothering my insides. This operation was too easy. No shot was fired, and this was great, but why is my gut feeling lousy? Most of my experiences taught me to trust my gut. I believe in this and I needed a remedy for it quickly, this couldn't wait. Susan, as she walked towards me holding her mouth in pain like before. You better get your tongue checked after all this is over. Listen, go check everyone quietly and see if anything is out of place. I said softly and quietly to her ear. She looked at me and noticed my facial expression. Her face began to look worried and asked, "What are you thinking, Nelson? The last time you looked this way all hell broke loose." "What's up, babe?" Looking worried at me. "Please go check, I'll let you know first if something's hot and cooking." She left and started to study everyone and everything. We have been divorced for 2 years and we still work very well, together. Time sometimes teaches us to learn from one another. With experience, when looking at each other's eyes one doesn't have to ask, you automatically think the same thing, sometimes. Some physicians call it synchronized thinking or telepathy. The problem I have now is having this funny gut feeling that my experience proves something is wrong. These hours have flown by and it has been some time. Tiger needed a break. She deserves it anyway. As I walked outside the guard shack, I noticed that each arrested soldier was put in an official police vehicle, alone. I called a member of our team and asked him why was each one of them alone in a single vehicle? He told me, Captain Spector put them there, so they don't share any information or invent an alibi, but, do you see that one? He pointed to the first vehicle closest to the entrance. Sure, I said. That one is called Sneaky. Every agency here is commenting they have been investigating